Breaking news for Broncos fans. Things have been unusually quiet lately, and that can only mean one thing. Something big is on the horizon for the Denver Broncos and head coach Sean Payton. Last offseason was filled with bold statements, media appearances, and plenty of public noise. But this time around, it's a different story. The doors are closed, the noise is minimal, and the vibe around Broncos country is shrouded in mystery. If you've been keeping an eye on things, though, there are some subtle signs of what's to come. The silence isn't just coincidence, it's strategic, and it's pointing toward one possibility. The Broncos could be gearing up for some significant changes during this year's draft. Let's dive into what we know so far. The Athletic recently stirred up some serious buzz by linking the Broncos to one of the boldest moves of the draft, potentially trading up into the top 10 picks to select Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty. If you haven't heard of Jeanty yet, trust me, you will. He's an explosive and dominant playmaker who could become a major weapon in Payton's offense. According to reports, Denver is eyeing the number 1 spot, 8 or number 9 picks, currently held by Carolina and Jacksonville, two teams in rebuilding mode that could be open to trading down for more draft capital. Why would Payton be interested in making such a move? Simple. He knows the impact a game-changing draft can have on a team. Just look at last season. 5 rookies stepped up and played key roles, helping to push this young team into playoff contention. Payton isn't just looking for good players, he's looking for players who can change the game. And Payton has a history of playing the draft game to perfection. Last year, everyone assumed the Broncos were eyeing quarterbacks J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix Jr., but in a stunning twist, they selected Bo Nix, the quarterback Payton had his eyes on all along. That kind of strategic maneuvering feels like deja vu. It's clear that Payton knows exactly what he's doing, and it looks like we're about to see another masterstroke unfold this draft season. So what if this is happening all over again? What if the silence is just smoke, and behind it there's a plan to snag Jeanty and completely revamp this offense? The buzz around this potential move is undeniable. One dedicated fan even joked that he'd empty his bank account to make it happen. And honestly, can you blame him? The idea of pairing Jeanty with Bo Nix in this offense could create a backfield that gives opposing defenses nightmares for years. That's the kind of bold move that can alter a franchise's future, but it doesn't end there. Payton was recently spotted at the Colorado Buffaloes Pro Day, dressed casually in Jordans and flying under the radar, but still engaging in some serious discussions with Coach Prime. Sure, it could just be a matter of proximity since he's based in Denver, or just maybe there's something more going on. Could the Broncos have their eyes on Travis Hunter, the dynamic two-way star? Hunter has been turning heads across the league, drawing comparisons to elite receivers like Justin Jefferson. His performance is making waves, and Payton's presence at that pro day suggests the Broncos might be looking toward a future that includes Hunter. But that wasn't the only reason eyes were on CU's pro day. Quarterback Sheeter Sanders also put on an incredible show, completing 62 of 67 passes with just 3 drops. His performance is propelling him into the top 10 of the draft, which could have a ripple effect that works in Denver's favor. If quarterbacks like Sanders and Jackson Dart rise in the rankings, it could push top-tier non-quarterback prospects like Jeanty closer to Denver's reach. Now, the question that's buzzing through Broncos country: would you trade your second and third round picks to land Ashton Jeanty? If it means securing a game-changing generational talent to anchor the backfield, would you take the plunge? Or is that asking too much, too risky, or perhaps a bit too bold? Whatever your stance, one thing is certain: Sean Payton isn't sitting idly by. He's watching the draft closely, carefully crafting a plan. His presence at CU's Pro Day, surrounded by NFL decision-makers and legends like Champ Bailey and Todd Davis, wasn't just coincidental. Payton's making moves, and he's got his eyes on the prize. This is a man preparing for something big. And speaking of preparation, a fascinating development recently came out of the NFL owners meeting. The Denver Broncos have formally requested to play an international game in Germany this season, specifically against the Indianapolis Colts. While it hasn't been officially confirmed yet, multiple sources are suggesting it's all but a done deal. Payton is reportedly looking to replicate the team-building experience that was so crucial during last year's difficult road stretch. That 2-game trip, which started with the team at 0-2, became a defining moment for the Broncos' identity, unity, and resilience. The Germany game would mark the first ever NFL game played in Berlin, and Payton wants the Broncos to be the team to set the tone. He's not just focused on building a playoff contender, he's crafting a culture, one of brotherhood, self-belief, and the ability to thrive under pressure. This offseason in Denver isn't just about the usual preparation. It's the calm before the storm. If Sean Payton's track record tells us anything, it's that this silence is intentional, strategic even. But now, Broncos country, it's your turn. What do you think about the rumors? Would you be on board with a bold trade-up for Ashton Jeanty? Do you believe Payton's appearance at CU was merely a coincidence or the first move in a bigger plan? And what are your thoughts on the possibility of the Broncos making history in Berlin? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Let's not forget one key point. This wouldn't be the first time Payton made a bold move on draft day. The man has a reputation for pulling the trigger on aggressive decisions when he sees a player who fits his system. Trading up isn't just something he might do, it's something he's done before. It's part of his identity as a coach. And in a league where the difference between good and great is razor thin, those bold moves are sometimes the only way to truly contend. If Payton sees Ashton Jeanty as a game changer, and all signs point to him possibly being just that, then Broncos fans need to seriously consider what a move like that could mean. Jeanty isn't just a fast running back, he's a complete weapon. Tough between the tackles, dangerous in space, a player who can line up out wide and create mismatches. Adding a dynamic talent like Jeanty to an offense led by Bo Nix with Sean Payton at the helm could give Denver the kind of multifaceted attack that no other team in the AFC will be prepared for. But if you think the Broncos' focus is only on offense, think again. There's a reason the Broncos are eyeing picks number 8 and number 9, not just for the players they want to grab, but also for the ones they could lose if they don't act fast. Defensive standouts like Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, and others could be available, and this team still has gaps to fill on both sides of the ball. The front office is acutely aware of that, and if trading a second and third round pick now prevents them from addressing the same needs a few years down the line, it's a price they may be willing to pay. But let's take a step back for a moment. Why all the secrecy? Why is there such a tight lid on things in Dove Valley? This is all part of the strategy. Payton knows that revealing too much too soon only inflates the price. So instead of giving away his hand, he's keeping the doors closed. No media tours, no comments on prospects. He's letting the rest of the league speculate. This isn't a passive quiet, it's a strategic one. Even the potential Germany game follows this plan. You don't request a mid-season transatlantic trip just to take in the sights. You do it because you believe it will forge something in your team that you can't get anywhere else. Payton understands the power of that kind of experience for a young roster. It forces the team to bond, to rely on each other, to block out distractions and focus solely on football. It's like a college-type experience in the middle of the NFL grind. And if it worked last year, why not double down? Of course, there's another layer to this. The game would mark the first ever NFL game played in Berlin, and you can bet Payton wants to be a part of that historic moment. It's not just about the experience, it's about the identity it helps create. The Broncos as pioneers, as standard bearers, as the team that introduced professional football to Berlin. That's not just about global branding, it's about setting a tone that resonates back home. It says this is a team with vision, ambition, and belief. Now, once again, it's your turn, Broncos country. Is this the kind of bold move you want from your front office? Would you be willing to trade a second and third round pick to secure a player like Jeanty? Do you trust in the quiet strategy Sean Payton is executing right now? Or are you more cautious, preferring to build depth through more picks instead of fewer? And what about the potential game in Germany? Are you excited about the idea of the Broncos taking the international stage and showing the world what this team is all about? Or do you feel the focus should stay closer to home, with all attention on what's happening at Mile High? Whatever your perspective, we want to hear it. This is a crucial time for the Broncos, and the pieces are starting to fall into place. Whether it's a surprise on draft day or an international statement, one thing is certain. Sean Payton isn't playing checkers, he's playing chess. And the next move could be his boldest yet.